Now let's get lively.
Follow me hard. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Oh, don't be scared, homie. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Rather sick and twisted.
Oh my god, dude, it's an MMA fight, dude.
You twist that dick.
Twist this dude.
Ladies and gentlewomen, it is indeed time for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching along at home. This is the Eggplant Tornado podcast, the fight podcast for the common man. We coming at you live over Zoom. I am the Ned, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the Griff. How you doing this week, buddy?
The fuck happened to your head, cunt? Looks like a fucking bloated arsehole. Yeah, no, doing all right, you know. Seen some penguins yesterday, so you can't really complain with that too much. But, yeah. It'd be better if the people went over and done whatever they can do on the socials. That'd be dope.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck just happened? You did see some penguins yesterday, and you sent me one of the most disturbing photos of a penguin I've ever seen. Ryan, you got some questions to answer.
And yeah, I mean, he knew a little bit too much about what they were doing. Let's just say that.
Just him shying his fucking family out there. It's like, no, just don't look at that one. All right, we'll go look at the seals again.
Yeah.
The penguin's in there like, that'll. And rounding out the trio was the prediction wizard himself and a being made of pure logic, Frumi. How you doing this week, buddy?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Not bad. Getting there. Yeah. Ready to settle back in for another big day, another big week fucking tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. Hasn't rained all day, but fucking pissed rain all last night. So, like, really, there remains to be seen as to whether we're going to be at work tomorrow.
I feel like
being at work.
Tim might stop in the episode later and just give us a bit of a forecast rundown.
Oh, Mr. Bailey himself.
Yeah, I think he might be touching in. He's going to just let us know, so I'll keep you updated.
Alrighty. Well, what have we got on the schedule for this week, Griff?
We've got a fair bit on. So we've got Believe It or Not, and that's with a B at the end. William Zepeda, just don't even know who he fought, but he got, he went and fought.
Don't even know who he fought, but he went and fought.
Yeah, he tried anyway, the other guy.
I've done some of that.
Ricky Simon got slapped up by Yadong, so we'll talk about that.
Absolutely slapped around by Yadong.
Oh, just beaten with it.
Turkeyed.
UFC 288 preview and Canelo and Ryder preview. And then something's going to get sanded. I don't know what.
Yeah, I suppose we'll figure that out at some point through the show.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And anyway, Rumi, hit us off with, I don't think we have a lot for the Believe It or Not this week, but we do have some pretty interesting fucking news that was announced either today or yesterday.
The AJ and Wilder clash, is that what you're referring to there, Ned?
That is what I'm referring to there, because I suppose it's the biggest news of the week.
Well, AJ says that fight with Wilder is happening in December in Saudi, but the DAZN say they want him to go in June or July. So I don't know what to make of that at this point, as, it sanded our Bernie, fucking 4 days ago. So
Will it sand it again?
it's close.
Yeah,
It's
that'll-
close to kicking it us off with the sanding, I think.
Well, I mean,
It remains to be seen.
isn't AJ, like, from what I read, he got injured in his last fight. You can't just be like, oh, should be right.
Dude, there's that many rumors going. Like, there was rumors going around that he apparently failed a drug test, and then it came out like a day after those rumors were out that it's like, oh no, he passed all the tests, and then it's like he's injured, so it's like, oh, well, maybe he's not fighting till then because he's injured. Then all of a sudden, yeah, he comes out and he says, oh, I'm fighting Wilder in December. Then his promotional company comes out and says, no, you're not. So, like, it's even the people that are supposed to be honest and fucking straightforward still seem to be fucking us around with this whole Saudi thing. I saw a photo the other day on Facebook of Usyk in full fatigues, saying he was back on the front lines fighting in Ukraine.
Was he, like, tired?
Army fatigues.
Yeah, they get tired, bro. They just don't sleep much.
Well, they would be fucking tired, man. It's been like a year and a half at this point. But anyway, my point is like, you've got Fury running his mouth saying he's going to fight every fucking man. Like, he's just going to go around to every fucking pub in England and fucking fight the toughest cunt there, apparently, for a couple of dollars. That's all he cares about. Usyk's fighting in the fucking war again. So, like, who knows what's going on with that? And then you got these other two cunts saying, oh, we're not going until December.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's hard to take too much serious with the heavyweight division right now. So I just try not to. Like, whenever it's brought up, I just, take it as kind of like a breeze until fucking something's locked in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
That's all you can do.
Anyway.
Because like I also heard AJ saying something about he wanted to go earlier as well, and then all of a sudden he was fighting in like December. I don't know really what to make out of it all.
AJ Wilder's a fun fight though. I'm keen on that.
Oh, that's a brilliant fight. Been waiting for it for ages. Well, while we're on the topic, Wilder apparently says if that fight does happen, he's gonna put a little something extra on that right hand for AJ.
And what's he putting on it?
I don't know.
Extra cheese or something?
I don't know. He reckons he's always said he wants a body on his record, so I don't know. Maybe he's saving that shot for AJ.
Didn't
And I mean, in reality, like, does he need to put anything special on that shot for AJ? He kind of just needs to make it land.
maybe just a bit of
Well,
sweet
but-
chili sauce or something? Spice it up.
Like, yeah, he only sort of needs to make it land, but like I think AJ may have shown in the past, like he took that right hand off Klitschko. Yeah, he was stopped by Ruiz, but like Ruiz wasn't able to put him away with a single shot. Like you need to be a finisher in order to stop AJ, I feel. Like even like Klitschko, he hit him with that straight right. Yeah, AJ went down, but he got up. Like Ruiz hit him with that one left hand that fucked, or right hand, sorry, that fucked his equilibrium, but he kept getting up. He got knocked down fucking 4 or 5 times or whatever the fuck it was in that fight.
Yeah, and the ref ended up
It's
stopping it.
weird. It's weird,
Yeah,
like the opinions that people gather about people's chins, because like AJ's fallen into this category, and for some reason Ryan Garcia has as well. Like if you look at the sense, like he got dropped by Campbell and then Davis kind of thing, and everyone just goes, "Oh, he's got a weak chin." It's like no. To have a weak chin is like when you get caught by that shot and get knocked the fuck out. Same as AJ. Like everyone says he had a weak chin after the Ruiz fight. It's like he got hit in the temple, went down again at the end of that round, fought through another 2 rounds, then went down twice in the 7th before the ref called it.
Like you could say like Amir Khan's got like a bad chin because you just watch him
Exactly.
like snooze stiff. It's like scary to watch him fight.
Yeah, or like you get like Amir Khan to get tagged on the fucking chin and his knees would go weak, and all of a sudden, like, it looks like it's about to be over if he gets tagged with one more shot. Like, I don't know, yeah, AJ's been down and hit the floor, but he's never been knocked the fuck out. Like, Klitschko could fucking bang.
Yeah, man. He got wobbled real hard by Dillian White in their like first fight. Oh, not their first fight, in their like professional fight they had.
Yeah, and like, it's
Dillian
heavyweight boxing.
White's one of
man.
the hardest. Exactly. It's heavyweight boxing, man.
One
all it
shot
takes
can
is one
change a
shot.
fight. Exactly.
Mm.
And like, yeah, Wilder can hit like AJ and tag him. Like I've heard a few, experts and shit bring this point up, and I like sort of agree with it. Like, yeah, Wilder can tag AJ, but Wilder's not a finisher. Like in the sense, like, yeah, he's got that one punch like knockout power, but like if he hits you and drops you, when you get up and he comes back in, he's fucking windmilling. Like, he's not setting up shots to, try and bring your hands down to connect again with that straight right. He's just all in, balls to the wall, throwing shots. And if he comes in doing that after he drops AJ, who's to say AJ can't counter him and tag him and put him straight on his ass?
AJ's definitely
And
the
then-
much better boxer in this scenario. So
Yeah.
yeah, to be
that-
like whether he can like withhold Wilder's punches, really. Which, I mean,
And it's not like, like, sorry to cut you off, Griff, but it's not like watching AJ when he tags somebody and he knows he's got him hurt. He's going in, yeah, he's looking for the kill, but it's measured.
yeah.
Like, he's looking for certain things to set up certain shots. Same as Fury, like, same as any real top boxer. Like Canelo, he drops shot, he goes in, he's not rushing. He's just looking to find something to open a hole to connect to put you away. Wilder doesn't do that. He comes in overexcited, thinking that he's already got you wrecked, and starts throwing punches just without technique.
Well, it's like in the first Fury fight, I believe. He dropped him in the last round, I think, and then lost the rest of the round.
Yeah,
But-
because he gets too overexcited. Where like when AJ tags someone and drops them, it's all measured. He looks to open a hole and then put you away.
Yeah, if AJ, that's what I mean. Like, if AJ would have dropped Fury in the 12th round the way that like Wilder did, I reckon he could have finished him. Whereas Wilder wasn't like capable of finishing him. Whereas like Fury was given a bit extra time, nothing crazy, but then yeah, there was still plenty of time left in that round to like work with, and Wilder couldn't get it done.
Yeah, there was
so
heaps of time left in that round.
it's
Yeah.
hard. It's a very interesting fight. Like, yeah, Wilder can put anyone away with a single shot.
Yeah, I'm
But
keen on
don't. Like, I feel he could put AJ away with a single shot, but like AJ's shown that it's probably going to take more than that. Like
And then that's to say that like Wilder makes it to that single shot first.
yeah, and then if Wilder rushes in, I don't know. I can see, AJ throwing between Wilder's wild shots and tagging him, and the fight just being flipped completely on its head.
Like Wilder's only good at range.
Yeah, exactly. AJ can fight on the inside. He's proved he
Exactly.
can,
If AJ sits on his chest and just throws uppercuts and short hooks and stuff like that, he's going to catch him.
for sure. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting that Wilder says he's going to put something extra on the shot. But if you're looking for one shot against like AJ, well, it's probably not the best choice to come in with.
No, it's not really a solid strategy.
No, you wouldn't
Well,
think so.
I suppose while we're on the heavyweight division and we've brought Fury in that up, Zhang says he'll take Fury in at Wembley in July if Fury wants it, because apparently Joe Joyce has not activated that rematch clause yet, which is very, very interesting. Because, if you got a rematch clause, normally a fighter will be like adamant at the post-fight press conference, or either the next day you hear something come out like, yeah, the rematch clause is in effect now. Like, we're gonna find a time, like a date and location and shit to have it. Where none of that's come out.
Yeah, because it's a difference in between like a rematch clause being from like a flash knockout as opposed to like there was literally a 0 point in that fight where Joe Joyce looked like he was in any point of control. Like he got absolutely fucking destroyed by Zhang.
Yeah, and I read.
So
I read through the week that like Joyce hasn't activated it. Zhang said if he wants it, he's happy to take the rematch, but it has to be in China. And there's been no word.
Konnichiwa.
There's been no word out of Joyce. So
wrong country.
I would tell you about the time that my mate's like Asian missus was full trying to fight me because I kept saying it. Times.
I literally don't even have to get the story. I could just like I know you well enough to just picture it.
You're nappy. Do you know?
I think the one you're looking for is like Ni Hao or something.
I don't know. I just like konnichiwa. What's konnichiwa, like Japanese?
Japanese.
They look the same anyway, so it's fine.
Fair.
Early in 10 minutes.
Early. What wasn't even that bad.
It's true.
Let's see if we can make it another week without having to cut anything.
Are we still talking about Zhang?
I
yeah,
don't
like
even know what we're talking. Yeah,
Zhang versus Fury. What do you use? Would you just be down to see it? What do you think? Like, I know.
I'd be
It'd be
I feel
cool
like
to
more
watch,
down
yeah.
to see it than anything he's suggesting at the
Oh,
moment.
100%.
It's
Yeah.
a way more like interesting fight than him fighting Andy Ruiz or him fighting who the fuck else is he talking about? Kubrat Pulev. Like him versus Zhang is a much, as opposed to like he could still just be fighting Usyk like that. That could have already happened.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like he...
Legit, that would have been this weekend.
Oh, really?
If it happened the way that they were talking about it, it was supposed to be at the end of April. So it
True.
would have been this weekend.
I see Fury probably being too much for Zhang. But, I mean, yeah, it's probably the most entertaining fight that Fury's announced in a while now.
And like I was sort of thinking, like the last time Fury, like we really sort of seen Fury in trouble was probably Otto Wallen and Southpaw. Like that was that was when Fury had that nasty cut above his I believe it was his right eye.
Is that the fight where he uppercutted himself?
No, but that shit's fucking funny.
Oh.
I can't remember who that was against, but
Hilarious.
It's still one of the
never
best
forget that.
moments ever.
Yeah, he's got like hair and shit. It's funny as. That he's has hair still as well.
Well, fucking actually,
Just-
like, I don't know if you. No, you go. Sorry.
Little breaking news here. Eddie Alvarez just got the nod in the bare knuckle FC over
Oh,
Chad
true, I
Mendes.
forgot that was on today.
Just happened.
Interesting.
So yeah,
So Rockhold versus Perry next then.
yeah, should be up next. But yeah, it's interesting that it
Cool.
went the distance. I didn't expect that in that fight.
The distance is how many rounds?
I don't know. I can imagine they'd probably do 8.
Yeah, you would think something like that.
I'm not too sure that'd be fair.
Yeah, Perry versus Rockhold next, and then yeah, as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, the winner goes on to fight Darren Till.
Yeah, I'm keen. That bare knuckle FC is starting to get exciting. We might have to start keeping more of an eye on it.
100%, man. They're getting some solid fucking fighters in there.
Yeah. Oh, Demetrius Johnson fights in the next couple of weeks as well. Maybe like
In bare knuckle.
no. In
Oh,
one.
right.
In one. So we'll have to cover that once it's like
Definitely have to cover that.
is that like dude he's already fought twice?
You say he's in one, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's on Channel 7 now. So like if we all sign up to like a free Channel 7 thing, I'm pretty sure we can get it like free.
I mean we can watch like home and away as well.
Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, what a bonus.
Can't wait.
What's the point that I was going to make? So there was an Australian fight announced during the week, or a fight in Australia announced rather. Joseph Parker's fighting
Yes.
a heavyweight from over here.
Hang
So
on.
this sort of plays into. Oh, do you have it down?
I have.
Fuck that guy. Nikita Zoo's probably the co-main.
Nikita Zoo is the co-main.
Fuck Joseph
Yeah,
Parker.
who's he?
Nah, I'm sorry,
who's-
Joseph. You're probably a
who's-
good dude.
Is it? Yeah, Parker versus what, Django Opalua, I think his name is.
Okay.
The Django. Never heard of him.
But my point, yeah, you are actually right there in that joke that you were making, Griff. Nikita Zoo has been promoted to the co-main, so big ups to Nikita for getting some recognition on a card and not being on a fucking undercard of his brother. That's good. But
Wasn't joking.
Tyson Fury's apparently traveling out here for the fight.
I did comment on something to do with that through the week.
Yeah, I did see that. That was good.
What did you say?
I can't even remember, but it made me laugh so hard.
I just said just better off staying in the UK. Fucking come
Oh,
here.
yeah,
Like,
that's
just
right.
Fucking stay there, cunt. We don't care.
Get out of it. No one wants you.
He's probably fucking lying about that too. Fuck off.
He'll never come back. The coke shit here.
I mean, it's fucking, it's true.
He'll still be going on Monday.
Yeah.
Reckon it would be great friends. Anyway, what else we got?
We'll go. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Tank. His trainer Calvin Ford says I still have more they need to do. Well, more they need to prove. Only 3 are considered that good: Devon, Loma, and Shakur. Tank has to ask himself, does he want to be an all-time great? Because they're the people he has to beat if he wants that.
Was the rematch clause on Tank's side?
Yes.
Okay. What? Who were the 3 people?
Haney, Loma, and Shakur Stevenson.
I feel like you got to be.
If he wants, he's got to beat all 3 of them. His coach has said if he wants to be considered an all-time great, because I can't really see Tank going anywhere past 140.
No.
Really?
I don't agree with his coach necessarily, because you've got Haney and Loma fighting, and then even if he just beats the winner of that fight, that like puts him a fair bit ahead, then it would
Styles make fights though as well. Like
Yeah.
the saying's cliche, but it's fucking true.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, it's not to say whoever loses out of Haney and Loma, like, won't beat Tank. Like, just because like, if he beats the winner of that fight, whoever loses, it's not to say they can't beat Tank, because it's just, I don't know, it's the way Styles make fights. Essentially, like, you're going to get different matchups between 2 different opponents at all times.
Yeah, people
Nearly
always try and live by that fucking triangle logic in boxing of like, oh, this person beat this person, so therefore they're going to beat this person, and then that person will beat this person. It doesn't ever work like that, man. Boxing's boxing at the end of the day.
Yeah, anyone can beat anyone. It's just some people just aren't stylistically matched up to fight other people. Like, Garcia said that he got bored in there with Tank. Like it was too tactical. He wanted to fight,
Yeah.
and that's when he overcommitted and Tank tagged him.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's all Tank is. He's just tactics, like to the core.
But like, yeah, styles make fights. It's not to say like, you know, I believe Haney punches nowhere near as hard as Tank. A fight between Garcia and Haney would be completely fucking different. Like
Yeah, it really would.
Like it's, and then a fight with fucking, you know, Tank and Loma is going to be completely different to what we get when we're watching Haney versus Loma. It's going to be all the styles are different. Anyone can beat anyone, I feel, in that weight class. So like I feel that is true because I don't see Tank going much higher than 140. Like I feel like
you're right in that sense. It's probably like the closest like mirror to the heavyweight division in the sense anything could really happen in that division.
They can all box, they can all fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's interesting. I feel like it's actually nice to hear someone from Tank's camp like talking some sense and saying like, you know, yeah, he might be considered as like the face of boxing or whatever, like in America at the moment. Probably not worldwide because obviously everybody else looks at Canelo's
And Zhang.
Everyone still looks at your AJs and all that shit. But if he wants to be considered an all-time great, you know, like Floyd, he has to beat these other people that are also considered great.
Exactly. And then you've got like all of these like outliers that are really coming in the fucking lightweight division as well. Like we saw a crazy performance today from Zepeda. Like, you know, you've still got a former undisputed champion in George Kambosos. If he works his way back up like championship levels and stuff, then he's also going to be someone that you're going to have to deal with. It's one of those things that like, as long as people keep rearing their head, people will make cases that... Jesus Christ. But yeah, like as long as people keep rearing their head in the division, people are going to try and sit there and make cases that, oh, Tank has to beat this person before he's like considered an all-time great. So it really is subjective at the end of the day, but I think everybody can make a general consensus that you could say he probably has to beat at least like the winner of Haney and Loma and then probably Shakur, considering he's like the next big thing in that division.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, did Shakur
Nobody
just
else
move
really
up,
matters.
like recently?
He did. He just literally a couple of weeks ago was his first fight at 135.
Yeah, okay. He seems to carry like a fair bit more power up a weight class, which is good for him. Makes him like a bit more exciting to watch.
Like I've said before, he's literally just like a more exciting version of Devin Haney. Because he has all of the technical skill and stuff, but he will just engage.
Better lips as well.
I think you also said that last time.
My lips sealed.
Anybody that says like Tank needs to go to 140 and beat like Teofimo Lopez, no, he doesn't. Like Teofimo Lopez doesn't fit into this conversation anymore.
He'd be too small at that weight. It's way too small at that weight.
Well, that's what
he's fought at 140.
That's what that belt that he has is at. It's at 140. It's like what do they call it?
A replica.
WBA regular title or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
like regular champion, and then you got like the world champion. So he still holds a belt at that weight class. So I don't see why he can't go up there and fight.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
He's only 28.
He's probably way more. He's just more comfortable at 135.
Oh, for
It fits
sure.
his body better.
For sure. But while we're on the subject of 135, Haney come out and said that he's better than Loma in every aspect.
Every aspect.
Every aspect. he
Except
said.
for like fighting.
Except for like actually boxing.
Yeah.
You know, being in the ring. Just, you know, not being a cunt in general.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Loma seems just like a heaps better person to be around as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
I'd be friends with Loma.
it's already 2-0 favor of Loma, so I'm calling bullshit. Off the rip.
Yeah. Game over. Game over, Haney.
I just thought I'd throw. I just thought I heard that. I better get the boys' opinions. And I thought Griff might say like, yeah, he's fucking.
I reckon Haney.
Fuck, speaking
I reckon
Not in
Haney
every-
would be a better kisser.
I was about to say not in every aspect. Griff would be like his fucking lips are shit up.
I don't know. Be good for something.
Speaking of fucking opinions, have you got anything down there about Teofimo Lopez?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so he went on a fucking rant during the week that I saw this morning, even like a quote directly from his father that said, "My son is not a racist, but he needs to apologize." So I don't know what podcast he was on, but he absolutely lost his fucking mind and starts going on about how, oh, ESPN are biased. You'll never see me on them again after this fight. They can have all their black fighters that they favor and this and that. And it's like, what?
They favor black fighters. Is that why Terence Crawford just like walked away from Top Rank?
Yeah. Is that why like Loma is probably like one of the biggest fighters on Top Rank? Yeah, they favor black fighters. Yeah, inadvertently, I would say that there is a lot of black fighters over there, but that's purely because Showtime is a shitty operation and people in America don't want to work with Eddie Hearn for some reason because they think the English like accent is scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking, it's all messed up. But yeah, I don't see how that's like as I said to you the other day, Ned, like Bob Arum grew up in a time of racism. Like where racism was powerful. You know what I mean? They were literally raised to despise people of color.
Legitimately.
So, like, I don't know, as I said to you, Ned, like, a tiger doesn't fucking change its stripes, bro. Like, when you're...
Oh, exactly. Bobby still says some rough shit behind closed doors. 100%.
Oh, fuck it. When you're 90, you do not change your fucking ways. That is not how human beings work. Like
exactly. So, like, yeah, he might... Well, maybe that's why they're favored in that sense. Maybe it's all just hush money for all the shit that Bob slips up and says. He says something in the hallway past and one of them, their manager's just like, fuck, all right, we'll add another 10 grand to your contract or some shit for your next fight. Fuck me, Bob. Can you just shut up?
But, like, even then, like, Terence Crawford.
Somebody lock him in a fucking room, please.
And, like, Terence Crawford, arguably one of the greatest fighters of this generation, was getting paid, like, $3 million a fight.
Exactly. It favors black fighters. Let's go with one of the best black fighters of this generation. Solid move.
Like, and even, like, you go back, 20 years. Floyd Mayweather paid his way out of a contract with Top Rank because he hated the way he was being treated by Bob. Like, there's, like, evidence that obviously Bob does not favor black fighters. When you
exactly.
When you consider, like, some of the money that, like, AJ is getting paid. Like, Canelo's off there with DAZN getting paid $38 million a fucking fight. Like, guaranteed. And you got, like, Crawford over there who's an undisputed world champion, gunning to be 2-time undisputed world champion, and he was getting $3 million a fight guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. So how does that make any sense?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think that kid's just losing his mind, hey?
Been hanging out with his dad too much.
I don't know, like, yeah.
Definitely hanging out with his dad too much.
Well, and then when we were talking the other day, and I said something that I seen Shakur on, like, a podcast. It was, like, the Breakfast Club or whatever with Charlemagne the God. And, like, the bloke who was not Charlemagne, the other guy, he's like, oh, do you feel like everyone's just, like, pitting black fighters against each other at 135? And Shakur was like, no. Like, if you look at it, all of the best fighters at 135 are black.
It's like basketball. Sometimes they're just better.
It's like, there's me, there's Tank, there's Devin. Like, if we want to be the best, we have to be put against each other.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it's the way it works. It's not like there's, a Mexican dude that's at the top. Then they're all just, like, ignoring that guy.
It's about to be.
Well, Tank just beat Garcia. So it's mainly just down to them three now, according to everybody else's theories. So
yeah.
like, I feel like
For now it is.
I feel like racism is just so, like, prevalent in America.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Like,
but it's not where Teofimo Lopez is trying to point it out, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Literally everywhere, but here.
Oh, it's fucking everywhere. You can't get away from it. Honestly, you just can't get away from it.
I was like, where's he going? Fuck it up. Alrighty, what else have we got?
All right, I got a little bit of UFC. So you got the garden gnome. I've just got this, like,
God, no.
I've got this picture here. It's like a quote.
Sleepy.
It's like a quote of what Cejudo was said. And
One of the 7 fucking dwarves he is.
he's called him Al Gislane Sterling. that's what he's come up with. Like,
He just tries too hard.
yeah, he's like, go out and get your thong ready. Well, you're nice. Go get your thong ready, your nice little dress ready, because I'm taking you out first. Then I'm going after Ronald McDonald. That's right, Sean O'Malley. He's next. That dirty Q-tip. And then after that, the real girl. Once I get done with you two tune-ups, I'm going after Alexander the Average.
Oh my God. Please let that happen. Seriously. I want nothing more now.
So that's, yeah, I just thought that'd
Actually,
be.
no, fuck it. Let him beat Aljolame and then let him get fucked up by O'Malley.
I thought
I
that
don't
was,
think it's going to happen, but just let it happen, please.
I'd like that to happen, yeah, but I doubt it would.
But I don't think he makes it through Volkanovski.
Fuck no.
Nah.
It's been, like, it's one of those things, man. It's been proven. Like, yeah, you're a good Olympic wrestler or whatever, like, but the dude who's supposed to be able to out-wrestle any man on the planet couldn't do a thing to Alexander Volkanovski, and he's bigger. You're not.
Yeah, I don't see it going. I see like the first 2 fights going well for Cejudo, but then I don't see going against Volk going too well for him. I think he knows that as well, so just talk to promote like himself.
Oh yeah, the Sterling fight's way worse for him than the O'Malley fight is.
Yeah. He'll just wrestle Sean the whole time.
100%, but like Sterling might actually be able to hold his ground.
No.
Zero faith.
I see him beating Sterling. I feel like Sterling's size will help him for a little bit. There's only so much you can do when you're tired.
Yeah, that is true.
Breaking news. Mike Perry gets it done in 2. So we see Mike
There you
Perry
go.
and Darren Till.
Okay. That's going to be a fucking scrap.
That's going to be a fun one, yeah. I don't know why Rockhold went to bare knuckle when he was like super chinny and with gloves. Like, I'll just get less protection.
Yeah, that
no,
makes no
doesn't-
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You should have.
I think maybe he thought that he could have landed the shot first, but that's pretty much all bare knuckle is, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen one clip. It was like a boxer went in there, like a former pro boxer. Fuck me, he pieced motherfuckers up, hey. Because
Really?
yeah, they're all just like former UFC fighters and shit. And this motherfucker just went in there and like, yeah, boxed. Like, it's fucking funny ass.
Actually, no, I do remember seeing clips of that. I can't remember what the dude's name was, but yeah, he absolutely wiped the floor with whoever he was fighting.
Yeah, it was good.
Alrighty.
I've got
What else we got for him?
just one last thing. The man. One of the men on the intro that we've got going on. Old Nate Diaz. He turned himself into police in New Orleans the other day after choking that bloke out in the street. And he got released on 10K bond. So,
Oh, light
Yeah,
money
well-
for Diaz.
yeah, well, I just thought that was interesting to note down that he actually like went and handed himself in.
I tell you what I love about that whole situation. That whoever that other wanker is, the fucking not Logan Paul guy. What's his name? Rodney. Came in. He like recorded a video. It's like, oh, crazy things happen when you look like Logan Paul or something. And then he's like, there's like a video next to it, and it's just like, yeah, he's saying if he sees Nate, he's gonna knock him the fuck out. It's like, oh well, good luck. He's getting choked out again.
Yeah.
We said something about when I know you're coming or something like that. You were confronting him. Nate was like trying to get away from you, and you kept going towards him, so he just choked you out and made you look like a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy's a wank too. I wanna fucking kick that dude in the face. That Rodney fucking guy.
He's a fighter, isn't he?
That's fucking. Yeah, we'll probably like a 1-0 record or something.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
Some
I'm not sure.
fucking boxer
I
or
just thought
whatever.
it was funny and it was worth bringing up.
Well, no, it was definitely funny.
yeah, yeah. Probably like Nate would just know it's probably better for him to go get it like dealt with, and then he can just train for his fight with Paul.
Nothing would have happened if he just put him down. That's the thing. It's the fact that he choked him out and he let him go. And the dude like smacked his head on the road and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was fucking like literally choked that cunt out and walked off like fucking John Jones did to fucking Lyoto Machida. Just like, dude, it's just on the deck. He just walks away. Like, it's
Just Nate being Nate, eh? Love it.
Yeah, but that's what I said to you at work the other day for him. It's like people that like push fighters in public are fucking idiots, let alone the one that is known for fucking not taking a bar of anyone's shit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a great idea to do.
It's legit like Nate Diaz and then like Mike Tyson back in the day. It's like those are the top two people.
Yeah, just like don't try push them because like they would just like fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's like an interview of Tyson, like telling someone to leave the interview to leave. Like, you got to leave now. I think it was like right after he
I remember that.
said some
I
other
think
things.
he's sitting on the like couch getting interviewed, and that bloke goes, "You were convicted for what he was convicted for," and like I said, don't you think that like will affect something? And he's just like, "Man, you're a piece of shit." Just like he like stops the interview, I'm pretty sure, and then Mike just like gets up and fucks off. Like,
Oh, that's when he leaves. But there's another one. Somebody asked him about like the death of one of his kids because pretty sure one of his kids died or something, like a baby or something like that. And the interviewer asked him about that. And that one, yeah, that one's even scarier because he just sits there in a real calm manner and he's like, "Yeah, you need to leave because you're like you shouldn't have asked me that, and I'm getting real fucking angry right now. So you need to go."
I'm getting real upset.
And the guy's like, "All right."
Yeah, fuck that.
Legit, there's that story that floats around online, man, of like Rogan had him on twice. He had him on like once when he was like all chilling on mushrooms, and then he had him on like before he was gonna fight Roy Jones, and he literally went and bought a bigger table because he's like, I need more space in between me and human beings.
Yeah.
He's like, it was just too scary being that close to Mike Tyson. Well, it's even a great clip. Like Tyson's talking about something and Rogan starts laughing. And Tyson's just like, "It's not funny." And Rogan's like, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you're right.
the best thing,
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
one of the best things is that fucking Foot Locker ad where he gives Evander Holyfield his ear back.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm sorry, Evander. Hear the ear.
I got your ear.
Didn't they brought out like an edible or something? It's like a bit in the ear or something. That's fucking
Yeah, it's
brilliant
like
marketing.
an ear with a bite mark out of it.
Yeah, that's mad.
Oh, it's genius.
Oh, but yeah, fuck. That wraps
That's
up.
all we got there?
Yeah, that wraps up, believe it or not, for this weekend. Yeah.
Alrighty.
We haven't had many days between pods, really.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we haven't actually.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
had a bit of a hectic last week. You know, foreshadowing going on in the fucking background here. Anyway,
bit of pin-upping. Just dropping them.
I need to cut that one.
Dropping them like the hot, yeah. Just throwing them like darts.
Fuck. Oh, what do you guys want to start with? The UFC or the boxing?
I didn't watch the UFC. I know.
Did you watch it for him?
I was down the shop doing shopping, and I was walking around like watching it on my phone. It was,
Well, you're gonna have to give us a breakdown, bud, because I didn't catch it whatsoever.
I only seen like bits and pieces.
You
It
just-
was, from what I made out, it was just a good, solid, steady performance from Yadong. Like, I feel he's going to prove to be some stiff competition for a lot of people in that weight class. You know, I think Simon was on the back of an 8-fight win streak or something like this. And Yadong just, as I said the other day, boys, he needed to go in there with a, you know, clear head, steady game plan, set a good rhythm, and hopefully last out the 25. And he ended up getting it done in about 23 or so, which was pretty impressive.
I did say that. I'd seen Ricky Bobby, you know, left himself open, and Yadong just slid right in. You know, I got the choke. It was quite the scene to see Yadong just choking a man. I believe unconscious.
I think he ended up stoppage through like punches.
There you go.
He just pounded him, Griff.
So he just pounded him out. Yadong was just pounding him out.
Yeah, I think it was the end of the fourth. Yadong tagged him with a left hook, and Ricky Bobby went down.
So Yadong swung in
And-
from the left, clipped him.
Yeah, and then Yadong went to jump on him, and the Hooter went.
Mm.
And I don't really think he'd recovered in that break. And I think it was a minute or so, maybe into the 2 minutes into the last round. Yadong clipped him again with the beautiful left hook and dropped him. And from there on, Yadong was just on top.
Sometimes, you know, you just don't recover from the thrashing that Yadong gives you. You know, it's hard. You'll be walking crazy for a week.
Yeah, well, I 1 minute between rounds definitely wasn't enough to recover from the thrashing he'd already taken from Yadong before heading out for that fifth.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. A minute recovery. You know, it's not enough time to get like, you know, the water bucket in, get a bit of moisture back in. Yeah, it's just not enough time.
And like Yadong is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Yadong. He's good size.
He's girthy.
He's good size, especially for 135. Taking a shot from him wouldn't be anything to laugh about, I wouldn't think.
Where do you reckon the worst place to take a shot from Yadong would be?
Well,
I reckon probably the face or the belly.
yeah, Ricky Simon, the right side of his jaw told me that's not a good place to be hit by Yadong.
Did Yadong, you know, create any blood?
I do believe Yadong did have a bit of blood on him. It wasn't not his own. I believe it was Ricky Bobby's blood all over you, like not all over Yadong, but there was a little bit on Yadong.
The speckles of it on Yadong, you know.
Yeah, like it was, you know, you could clean it off.
Swipe it off when you're done.
Yeah, no,
That's not too bad.
not an urgent shower. I wouldn't feel for Yadong. Just a quick wipe off.
Just a wipe off and you're fucking ready for the next one.
Yeah, but I feel Yadong's at like about 8 at bantamweight now. He fought Ricky Bobby there, who was 10th, I believe. So I feel like now that he's risked his 8 against someone who's a bit lower ranked, he should be like entitled to fight someone a bit further up the rankings now.
So we could see in a real short time, we could see Yadong just erecting up the ranks,
But I feel like
which would be good.
Yadong versus O'Malley could be a good fight.
I feel like O'Malley beats Yadong. Like,
I feel he does because of his technical ability, but
yeah,
Yadong's some pretty stiff competition.
I feel like O'Malley would be too much for him. I feel like O'Malley would really piece up Yadong.
Just his power would be like telling. I feel if he could land on O'Malley, like Yadong, but I feel also O'Malley may just stiffen up Yadong as well.
I mean, he could. He's a good-looking fella.
Well, we all know Yadong's just going to go in there and swing away anyway.
Oh, he never stops swinging Yadong. He's always in circles.
Or maybe like a Yadong versus Vera or something like that. I feel maybe that could be an interesting fight.
Vera getting it on with Yadong would be good. Yeah, I'd like to see Vera and Yadong.
I feel that could be a good fight. It's a pretty interesting weight class too. It's funny, like 135 in boxing and 135 in the UFC are both pretty jam-packed weight classes.
Little fellas have got a bit of fucking spark in them, you know.
They do. Is
Beautiful.
there, Ned? I seen you tapping your big black thing there in front of your face. Not,
Yeah, I was just fucking checking that it's still working.
not your dong, but yeah, you were tapping something.
It's tapping, giving it something to tap.
Tapping away.
Give it a
Fucking
tap.
speaking of tapping away, why don't we fucking move on to the absolute beating that we witnessed about fucking half an hour ago?
I wish he was going to tap away a little further, but you know, it would have been nice to see him. We haven't seen him in what, like 12 months.
It's actually been like 5.
No, yeah, about 12 months we haven't seen him, and then we just, you know, we get a complete whitewash. He just fucking goes in there, runs through this guy. Who was it? Who did he even fight?
I think his name was like Arbolero or something like that. I don't think it fucking matters, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it does.
As Ned said, it was a result we were expecting it. Not maybe we're expecting it a bit later, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to go in there and get it 2. I expected like maybe 5th, 6th after he kind of puts that pressure on.
I think the other bloke was coming up from 135 or something, or 130 for that fight as well. So
I just don't think that other fella knew what he really signed up for.
not really, especially when you're seeing. Did you boys catch like Zepeda's fights, like punch stats from that fucking Diaz fight before that fight got underway?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
He threw something like 1,587 fucking punches or something in that fight.
And didn't even start to slow down.
700 odd jabs. Like, what the fuck?
Those are crazy numbers for a lightweight to be putting out.
Like, I think they said that was them punch stats were like the 9th highest that CompuBox have on their records across all fighters and all fights. Like, since CompuBox started, that's like some fucking crazy numbers, man.
I just don't understand how anybody can keep up with that pace.
I don't think
Nobody has an engine like that.
no, you can't keep up with the pace, but Zepeda is there to be caught between shots.
Yeah, he did. He got clipped a
100%.
few times in the brief time he was in the ring today.
And like, if you're getting tagged by like Tank or someone like that, like even Garcia, Brian Garcia cracks you with that fucking left because you're just in like I know he's like not really reckless Zepeda, but if someone who's as fast as Garcia is able to tag him,
Yeah, if they
could be
get there,
over.
time him well.
Yeah, if they can time it between the shots.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that being a possibility. I hope he tightens up a little bit on his climb up the ranks. Yeah, it'd be good to see him fucking up there in the championship rankings and being thrown up in the top 3.
He's not far.
No, I'm not sure where he ranks in any of these divisions yet.
He wouldn't be far off the top. I mean, there's
He had some kind of belt probably, but everyone just gets a fucking belt. You fucking show up in the crowd and you get a fucking belt.
I know what's going to Sam my Bernie this week.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get there when we talk about it. But yeah, it's one of he probably needs to step up in competition after this. Like, he can't just go and fight some other nothing fighter and fucking run through them again.
Well, Jojo Diaz was fucking step up in competition, former title contender, and not title contender. He fought for a belt at some stage.
He was a former champion at 130.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, and he fought Haney not that long before Haney got his title shot. So if he would have beat Haney, you can imagine he would have been getting his title shot.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, he's had a step up, and then they're just giving him this fucking janitor tonight, just fucking beating him with a bucket.
It's just,
Threw everything at him, didn't he?
He just doesn't stop. He just gets punched and still doesn't stop. Just keeps throwing his combo. You're like,
yeah, if
And
you
he's got
can't, if you can't get his respect, he's not going to stop throwing punches.
nah, fuck no.
Yeah, which the other guy definitely couldn't. But he's got it's weird because sometimes he'll just stand there in the pocket and take shots, and then other times he'll be display some quite good technical defense. Like, he'll just be dodging and slipping out of the way of shots, and it's like, use that all the time.
Yeah, maybe it's like a matter of getting their power. If he doesn't like their power, he'll try to get out of the way. But
It's a
didn't look
building
like
Mexican thing.
didn't look like old mate could do much to really push him back off him today.
Yeah, it's like a built-in Mexican thing too. If you can't hit them enough to get any form of respect, they're not going to give it to you.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going to keep walking forwards and just throwing shots.
And
That's just how they're built.
yeah, and he's shown, as you said, he's tightens up on his defense. He's shown he can box, but if you can't hit him and get his respect, he's not going to box with you. He's just going to fucking try and punch your head in, so to speak. Because he knows what's coming back at him is not enough to fucking hurt him.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Garcia would be a fun fight to see next.
Yeah, it would, but Garcia's gone to 140, so
Yeah, he's running. Scared.
It was so weird. Did you see De La Hoya at the start of that fucking before that fight too? He was like, 135 so interesting. You got Tank, Shakur, you got Ryan Garcia. Aren't you his promoter? He said he's going to 140. How dumb are you, you fuckwit?
If I was Garcia, I'd just scrap that dude.
Yeah,
100%.
I'd be getting out of that contract as soon as I could.
Fuck yeah. Get back with Canelo, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, he gets more time than Ryder. Shut your fucking little bitch mouth. You did.
Because he's better.
Yeah. How many
That's
championships
just simply
do
how
you have,
it fucking
Ryan?
works.
Fucking, that's right. Canelo's fucking, in the talks for being one of the best of this generation. What are you in the
Yeah,
talks of?
exactly.
Fucking, how many fucking likes you got on your last Instagram post?
Yeah. No, that's the only thing you're the king of, and even then, you're not that fucking great at
Yeah.
it.
Fight up.
But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, he probably needs to move up in competition before we can really make any judgments on what kind of boxer he's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to see him go up the rankings a little bit more.
Yeah, it definitely would. But why don't we move on to some previews for next weekend? Oh, fuck, we've got a huge weekend next weekend.
What do we preview?
What do we got?
We should start off with UFC 288.
Run us through it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, fuck.
I'm just going to go through from the top 3 fights here. But in the first 2 fights, we have a Chrome Gracie,
Run.
fighting at featherweight. And we got Bryce Mitchell fighting some dude who's 16-0. So, that's going to be interesting to see.
It'll be good to see how Bryce Mitchell bounces back. Hopefully he comes back in better spirits than the last time. I feel like that was his first loss in his last fight, and he just made a bunch of excuses and doesn't look good.
Yeah, definitely made a bit of a fool of himself after that, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it'd
Just
be,
accept your losses and fucking come back.
yeah, but it'd be good to see if he recovered from that loss, or if he's
Still complaining about it. Yeah.
the dude that he fought to beat is fucking, can't remember his name, but fucking.
And he's also fighting somebody who's got an O, so maybe he's being fed to the fucking wolves now.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Fight before the co-main, we have Jessica Andrade versus Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan. I don't know how the fuck to say that name. I don't really know much about either of these fighters. You guys?
Jessica Andrade. That's like she fought Rose. She's one that dropped her on her head.
Yeah.
Gave her the Hadouken.
But
The
apart from
Kobe.
that-
Just straight onto a fucking skull. Yeah, I don't know this other person. I feel
don't
like
have a clue either.
I feel like Jessica went up in weight recently, so she's a bit small for the division, but she's been doing well. Other than Firsten Shevchenko, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes.
Well, alrighty. Let's move on to the co-main. We got Belal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns.
Go Gilbert. I don't like that Belal Muhammad dude. He's a bit cringy.
Me either. Too much talk.
Yeah, what's he done for how much he talks? He got poked in the eye by Leon Edwards and cried shut up.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do anything. Oh fuck, go Ned. I haven't seen anything too memorable out of him, to be honest. Like I watch the UFC, I follow it, but I'm not like a diehard UFC fan. But I don't know, he's done nothing that's really particularly caught my eye. And Burns is coming into, I believe it's his 3rd fight in 4 months.
Yeah, quick turnaround for Burns. He was
A fucking beast.
when did Burns fight last? 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, he fought.
I feel like fucking Masvidal. At 80,
Yeah.
was it 87?
Yeah, so it was maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month ago at the max.
Yeah, and then who did he fight before that? Was it Wonderboy or something? Or?
No, fucking lit. Shemaev.
Oh, Shmaev, yeah.
So I mean, fuck, not coming off easy fights either. Coming off big fights.
Yeah, because I seen something through the week about that. He was like Belal wanted it at, I don't know. I think it was somewhere near middleweight instead of welterweight or something like that. And Burns was like, I'm not giving you no fucking favors. We fight at welterweight or we don't fucking fight.
Burns is a beast. I like Burns. Yeah, hopefully. I feel like Burns will get it done. I feel like he'll just be too much, but I'm hoping being in and out of camp, and having so many fights so close isn't like a bit too much for him.
I feel like he didn't really take too much damage in his last fight.
No, not really. I just mean you need rest, and he does real high intensity training. Yes, if you ever watched the training videos of him on YouTube or anything.
Not particularly, no, but you can tell he's he's always in fucking shape.
Yeah.
He's not one of them fighters that's like a Paddy Pimblett or that you see blown up between fights or whatever. you know, when you see him at events and shit, he always looks like he could be fucking the backup for any welterweight fight.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Fuck Belal.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Gilbert. And then I feel like if he wins this fight, it's like long enough break if Leon doesn't intend on fighting again till October or whatever it is in Abu Dhabi. Like it proves, you know, he's earned that number one contender spot, so to speak.
Well, yeah.
And then you got a good 6 months rest between now and potentially fighting for the title.
Yeah. How do you think he'll get it done? I reckon Burns by submission because Belal's like a wrestler, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Burns' jiu-jitsu and shit is going to be too much, especially with him being as active as he's been.
Yeah.
And like, even though he's lost to Chimaev, that was fucking like a tight fight. And like, yeah, like Chimaev's no fucking joke. He's strong as fuck.
Yeah, well, he took him down once and he's known for his wrestling. And then he was like, no, I had to get back up. Like, he was just throwing all this crazy shit at me on the ground and I just had to get away from it.
So, like, yeah, like hasn't been in fights with slouches over the last...
Probably like 5 years. He's been fucking near the top for a while now.
Especially the last run that he's had, like, just going off his last 3 fights.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in there with slouches, so I feel like his experience, activity...
George.
Like, even, like, yeah, George is at the end of his career, but, like, he still had that ability to not really match Burns on the ground, but still put him out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like Burns' activity, the people he's fought, it's just going to be... He's going to be in too good a fighting condition for Belal to stick with for 5 rounds, especially with his, like, jiu-jitsu ability.
Yeah.
And he's got a huge amount of weight still to lose, something like 12 pounds or some shit like that.
Belal does.
Yeah.
Got to make weight, Belal. Be talking a lot of shit. Anyway, is that the main?
That's the co-main.
That's co-main.
Who's the main?
So, but the main we've got Sterling versus Cejudo. I'm going to go make another coffee because I'm not really an educated fucking person on this subject. You guys have been watching UFC for much longer than I have, so one of you guys hit it. And then we'll do some predictions before we move into the Canelo stuff.
I want Sterling because fuck Cejudo. But
yeah, 100% fuck Cejudo.
But I also want to see Cejudo fight the people he mentioned in that thing I brought up in Believe It or Not. So, like, it's...
I feel like Cejudo's going to get it done. I feel like I'm... Sorry to cut you off, Griff, but I'm not a big Sterling fan. So I don't really care about the result too much. Well, to be honest, it sounds like you guys kind of are. It sounds like you're a Team Sterling. Pretty hard.
Well, I just hate the shit that Cejudo has said in the past. Like, I want to see him get smashed, but I don't care where the title ends up.
Yeah. Well, like, let's do this. Let's put all the talking aside and let's just look at, like, ability. Who do you see getting it done?
Probably Cejudo.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the way I'm with it too. Like, they're both cringy. So to me, I just look at it from the standpoint of, like, I don't like either of them at all. I don't care where it goes.
I don't like the shit Cejudo says, and I don't like the way Sterling first got the title, so I couldn't give a fuck. But fuck Cejudo. But
well, whoever wins it, just kind of like, it's the same style, just different size. So whoever wins it, like, the people I want to do well in the division aren't going to do well in division with them as champions.
Yeah, and if... Like, I don't know, did you see that photo of Sterling next to McGregor at all? That, like, and I think Sterling said, like, oh, maybe I am a featherweight or some shit. So
yeah, big boy, man.
I feel like he could move up.
Yeah, I feel like you'll probably will see him move up because that little his little mate, I don't know what's that dude named, the little, like, pocket rocket dude that didn't stop for 25.
Oh fuck, I can't remember his name. I'm sure Ned would be more.
Yeah,
Ned would know, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, they fight in the same division and they're, like, close friends. And I also feel like Sterling doesn't want that smoke. So I feel like you could see Sterling going up for like double champ potentially. And then if he keeps it, he'll just stay at that division.
yeah, and Cejudo has said that he has the same plan.
I feel like it's a bad move for Cejudo though. I feel like
Because
he's too
Cejudo
small.
said he wants to go fight Alexander the Average, so like he's got the same plan. So I don't feel like they're both going to stick around at 135. So I couldn't really care where the title ends up on ability. I'd probably say Cejudo gets it done with all of his credentials and whatnot that he's got, but like Sterling is huge between fights. So like he has the ability to rehydrate very fucking well.
Yeah, and he does rehydrate well. He never looks too bad on like fight night. But like Cejudo's going to put a pressure on him. Like I don't know, Cejudo's much smaller, but then I look at people that he does work with, and it's like, oh yeah, he's used to working with dudes that are like well bigger than Sterling are.
Yeah, and it like I suppose people will pick Sterling because he's bigger, but like, are you looking at the same prospect as Volk versus Lamb? Like everyone expects the bigger man who's probably going to be more dominant because of his strength and how he's dominated that division.
Yeah.
But then you get then you get this smaller dude who actually knows how to do it, but like it's not the same because Volk's been active, but Cejudo's like been off, but everyone's going, oh, this little dude, he hasn't been, sort of as active. Sterling should be able to beat him.
Yeah. I mean, he's been training, he just hasn't been fighting. I don't feel like he's gonna have like ring rust. I feel like Cejudo's just a safe bet. I don't know. I never if he didn't beat DJ and like, have the run that he did, I'd probably be like, yeah, this dude. But like, yeah. And then coming back, like he's got to have a reason to come back. Like you're not going to come back being all confident if you just like been sitting on a lounge for like a couple of years. And then I've seen him working with Jones, and I'm like, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think that's the defining factor in this, in the sense that like when he went away, he expected everyone to just sort of be like riding his dick forever because of what he achieved. But he faded into obscurity in a matter of a couple of years.
People
And
move
I think
on,
that
bro.
really, but I think that really pissed him off. So like, I think that is like sort of, that's his reason for coming back, in the sense that he's like, oh yeah, you don't think I'm that fucking good, which is a dangerous person.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And he is that good. That's how he got to where he is. Like,
Exactly, which is why you fucking hate him so much,
Like-
because he's such a fucking painful cunt to deal with. But you can't deny
Like,
he's literally the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. Like you can't deny his skill, but I'll be fucked if I want to listen to him talk for more than 30 seconds.
yeah, if he didn't carry on, I'd like him. I'd actually like the bloke as a fighter and whatnot. Like, it's hard to say, I suppose, without sounding like contradictory, but like I like his style and that, but I just don't like him as a person.
You can say that about a lot of fighters.
Like sort of thing. He's all right. Some of the shit that he says, I'm like, oh yeah, but then like he just says other shit, and I'm just like, cunt, just forever keep your mouth fucking shut.
Yeah. I feel like he
Like, I don't want to hear it.
I feel like he puts it on a bit, but then at the same point in time, he's also just like a real cringy dude. So I feel like it's just double. Like he's getting hit with a double pseudo.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of those things that like it's at least like Colby Covington, for instance. Everything Colby Covington does is a fucking act. Apparently, he's completely different outside of that. Like when Cejudo opens his mouth, you can't tell if what he's saying is this just a bad joke that you're trying to make, or is this really you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just him like exaggerated, I reckon. But how do you reckon the fight's gonna go, Ned?
It's fucking hard to say, man. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 fight. I still lean more towards Cejudo, as much as I hate to say it. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of factors. There's the attitude that he comes in with. It's like I said a couple of weeks ago, man. If he goes in there with the attitude of, this is a dangerous man that's in front of me and I need to focus and get the job done, Cejudo will win. If Cejudo walks in there with the idea in his head of, oh, I'm Henry Cejudo and nobody's ever fucking been better than me, then Sterling will probably overpower him, or, like, I don't know. I just think he definitely has the skills to get the job done. He needs to be focused, though. This is somebody that can take it away from him given the opportunity.
Yeah, that's fucking good take on it, I reckon. Yeah, I got Cejudo. When I'm gonna say late. I'm gonna say probably 4th. He might get a submission.
Say, you two need to give some fucking predictions this week. We'll see who's better off. We need to make a tally board for this shit or something.
Yeah, probably. In the back end.
What do you got for him?
I see Cejudo probably getting a nod on points, to be honest.
Points?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna probably be too much for Sterling on the ground, but I feel like Sterling's ground game is like good enough to not get caught in a submission by him.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing is like I feel like Cejudo's gonna just like tire him out, and then once you're tired, you kind of set yourself into weird positions. And Cejudo will be like a little ape, wrap something up.
I feel like if Cejudo was more like a jiu-jitsu and that type person, I'd probably take him for the sub. But because he's more like grappling and wrestling based, I do expect him to be able to grind Sterling down. I just don't see him finishing Sterling.
Yeah, I mean, good prediction. Good prediction.
I just feel like Sterling's wise enough on the ground to not get choked, but probably not wise enough to, well, not even wise enough, just won't be able to handle the pressure and pace that I feel that fucking Cejudo will come in with if he's serious about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it all depends on like how they come in. Like Sterling is pretty big for that weight, so that's another thing that I look into him. Like he's got to drain himself to a certain extent.
Oh, for sure. He'd walk around.
Yeah, he's another person that fits into that whole category of like, there's surely not, because he's not old either. Like, I believe he's still, how old is he? Like 30s? Or like late 20s?
Late 20s, I'd say.
Exactly. So he's not very old. He's still got some growing to do. He's eventually not going to be able to make that weight.
Like, I don't know if you had your earphones, that when we were talking before, but did you see that photo of Sterling next to Conor McGregor?
Yes, I did. I literally saw like a replay of that video. Like there's a video of Conor walking up next to him to take the photo. And Sterling literally says to him like, "Oh, you're huge." But Sterling still looks pretty big next to a fucking roided out McGregor. So
yeah, fucking right. He's huge. Like how do you see the fight going, Ned?
Like I said before, I think like Cejudo's going to get the job done as long as he's got the focus to do it.
Do you see, like, what's your prediction? Do you see it like? Do you see it finish it like anyone getting the finish, or do you see it going to points? Or
I think, I don't know. See, here's the other thing that people haven't brought like into this conversation as well. Like, Sterling's not very good with his hands. Who has Cejudo spent a lot of time with over the past couple of years?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Just walks in there.
oh fucking hell!
Fucking Krav Maga's the cunt. Comes in with a ponytail.
You never know,
Sunglasses. Got the full like weird kimono on. Oh shit. Anyway, you made the point that he's been spending a lot of time with John Jones. Also been spending a lot of time with another black heavyweight, but not in a wrestling sense. Cejudo's spent like the last 3 years getting trained in boxing by Mike Tyson. I'm going to call it. I'm going to go also the 4th. I reckon he's going to knock him the fuck out.
Spark him, you reckon?
Yeah. Because I've seen Sterling hit the ground before.
He's an electrician by trade, Henry Cejudo, so...
He's what?
Electrician by trade.
Sparky, you reckon?
Yeah, yes. So doesn't he spare time?
Oh, fuck it all. All right, well, that might actually be a nice way to fucking segue on into this this Canelo Ryder card that we got going on the same day. So fuck, we got a huge day.
You're welcome for that one. I'll just leave that there with you. I'm just gonna attend to something in that other room real quick. I'll be back.
You do that. Well, I'll talk to you about this room. I believe, judging by the way that this article is set out, fifth fight from the bottom would be the bottom of the main card. Alexander Vozdik's fighting again.
Who's he?
I'm not even sure who he's fighting. Richard Bolotniks. Ricards Bolotniks.
Sounds like a fight set in Vozdik's favour, I feel.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think it's one of his first fights back after he retired following that fucking beatdown that he took at the hands of Belieb. I'm wondering if he's coming back with a different trainer.
Who's this?
I'm not sure.
Alexander Vozdik.
I'm sure he
Definitely on
is, yeah.
Definitely on the rebuild.
Because his former trainer was Teddy Atlas.
What, did he have a stroke or something?
No, Vozdik got beaten pretty badly by Belieb and then retired afterwards. But he's since come back to fighting. I'm not sure if he's fighting in a different weight class or not. It doesn't specify here in this article. But I just thought that it was interesting to mention that he was probably opening up the main card there. And then we'll talk about the last three fights because they're relatively interesting. We got Gabriel Golez Valenzuela versus Stevie Spark for the WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight title.
You reckon he's an electrician? He's got to be, right?
That's what made me want to talk about
Sparky,
this.
Sparky.
This isn't that
No,
same.
he's a carer.
What does he care for?
Jeff Horn.
Oh.
Is this that same Venezuela that got robbed a month or so back, or a different bloke?
No. Wait. Maybe. Hold on. If you guys can just make some Jeff Horn jokes for a minute here. It actually could be. I'm not
sure. I just remember the last name, the name Venezuela, and I remember we watched him and we all felt he was robbed.
Hang on. Gabriel Golaz Valenzuela. No, I don't. Wait. Who did he fight? No, I don't think it was. I think that guy was at a lighter weight division.
What
Because
weight
I
class
tagged him
is
in a
this?
story. I tagged him in a story on Instagram. This is super lightweight.
Oh, I feel like it might have been around there somewhere.
Do you remember?
Because he fought that bloke who...
No, so the guy who got robbed was Jose Valenzuela.
Oh, right.
Cousins.
Because he liked the story that we tagged him in
Close.
of us talking about
On
it.
your Jose.
Close.
Dang shit, boy.
But yeah, so Stevie Spark fighting for
Have we
some form of a WBA title.
I'm going to have to take Stevie. Why not? Go get the fucking job, Steve. You're an Aussie.
I mean,
I'm probably going against the grain because I'm Mexican in Mexico, but fuck, get him, Stevie.
How will he get it done, though? Do you reckon he'll go through the middle rope this time? Or is it... do they still
You
have the
have to-
Royal Rumble rules applied?
You have to go over the top, Griff.
Okay, so Royal Rumble rules applied. What about, he showed he's got experience, just flailing himself over there, landing on his feet.
Is he going to hit him with a 5-star frog splash is the real question.
So I was hoping for a bit of a roll and thunder or something, maybe. I don't know.
I was
Cripple
it's Mexican,
crossface.
so we got to hit that. We got to hit that lucha libre shit more like the Hurricane Ranas and fucking.
619.
I was thinking
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the flying headbutt into the cripple crossface. But...
That's probably the go-to.
or the swanton bomb or something.
I feel like you just saved that move for your wife, so I don't know.
That nearly spat his drink everywhere.
Fuck, that was so close. Like if you nearly got painted in coffee. That hurt.
Fuck.
It physically caused me pain.
Imagine how his wife felt. Fucking hell. Fucking dad's over here talking about a bit of pain. Fucking hell. The fight though.
Oh God,
Who's fighting?
let's move on. Stevie Spark
yep.
fighting.
He's the guy that got thrown
Over the top
thing.
rope by Montana Love. Yes.
Yeah.
He was the guy who had to struggle to fucking basically do 2 commentators' jobs on that Jarvis card when fucking, yeah, Jeff, he throw the punches, but the punches become punches and then punches. Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, it'd be good to see the Aussie get up, eh?
It would, man.
I don't know enough
We've got a
about that
couple
fight.
of people. We've got a couple of people like at this sort of like wavering around this like half top level of competition kind of thing in a bunch of these lower divisions. So it'd be good to see us pick up a couple of belts, get some fucking fights happening over here, man.
We didn't
Some events
have
to
this
go
in
to.
Believe It or Not. Liam Parrow's opponent, Barbosa Jr. or something, pulled out. They're trying to line up another fight.
Oh, he pulled out?
Yeah,
Oh, because
Interesting.
because
hear
they
that
lost the burst pit or something.
I was just going to
Yes.
say, I did hear that Matchroom had won that.
Matchroom won the purse bid over Top Rank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
so
old mate
like it
pulled
was
out,
going to
yeah.
be on DAZN. What a cunt.
What a pussy.
You're a bitch, Barbosa. Doesn't want any part of Paro.
You can't blame him. I mean,
Yeah, fucking who would? Anyway, he's just going to fucking flatline you in the first round and then fucking gritty across the other side of the ring.
yeah. It's so fucking... That was like funny to watch, man. Literally.
Bro, it was fucking hilarious. Like, they're like legit. It was like a whole week of like, Brock Jarvis is this, Brock Jarvis is that.
Just fuck.
Game
And
over.
then, like, he put him on his back and then watched him face plant twice while he like did some weird dance.
He was like Fortnite or whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah.
dancing
I
around
love,
the ring.
I love that for Parrot.
Oh, it was fucking great.
I don't
Anyway.
love the pull out though, and hopefully it gets filled in.
Co-main. Julio Cesar Martinez versus Ronald Batista for Martinez's WBC flyweight title.
It's good to
David's
see
brother?
Batista making his boxing debut. I know he like dibbled in MMA for a little while.
Batista, not Bautista.
Yeah,
Close.
Batista, that's how it's spelled. B-A-T, however the fuck the rest is spelled. Yeah, it's Batista.
They used silence, so they just took it out.
You're reaching.
Who's reaching? Reach around.
I'm just trying to find a picture of this guy, Julio Cesar Martinez. So,
He sounds familiar. The other guy doesn't.
He's... It's hard, man. All of these names sound very similar, but that's... Wait, where is
I think he's...
that's a white screen.
Up.
Yep.
Fuck. Where are we? There we are. That's him. Right there. That guy.
Yep.
Just scrolling down here. I'm just trying to find who the other champions are in this division, or one of, like, he's in like this lower division. I think that maybe like Bam Rodriguez and that are in. Hang on. What did it say? WBC flyweight title. Flyweight boxing champions. Should have had this up earlier, like I did everything else. List of world flyweight boxing champions. Yeah, you could just fucking... Jesus Christ. I don't want to see the entire history of it. Just give me a fucking list. Why is it so hard to find information?
Internet.
Yeah, internets. Anyway, let's just fucking scroll down here because this will help me. Flyweight. Yes, okay. So it's the same division as Jesse Rodriguez, Sonny Edwards,
Right.
that weight class. Which is fucking strange, man, that a lot of these guys, like,
Do you feel there will be title
Don't-
implications out of this fight, or?
potentially, but like, there's a point that I was going to make. A lot of these guys seem to have fights all the fucking time, but they don't seem to want to fight each other. Like, they've all got belts. The last thing I saw about Sonny Edwards was him talking about fighting his brother.
Yeah, do that.
So I don't fucking know what the go is there.
His brother was a world champion.
His brother would be a weight class
Yeah,
up. wouldn't he?
was or either one, either up or down, or
His brother's bigger. His brother's like taller and longer for sure.
I can't remember his name though.
No, I can't think of it. There's Sonny and
yeah, I can't remember his name anyway.
his last name.
But yeah, so could be some.
It'd be a fight to keep an eye on. I
it-
don't know too much about them real lower weight classes because we don't really get many fights from them lower weight classes televised over here, so they're hard to keep up with.
Unless they tend to be on a card like this.
Yeah, otherwise they're pretty hard to keep track of, so to speak.
But anyway, let's move into the real fucking the horse meat of this card. Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder.
Do we have any confirmation that he has been, continuing on the horse meat?
Oh, he went off that vegan diet straight off that fucking Bivol fight. I reckon he
That's
literally like walked out of the fucking stadium and just like fucking
Killed the first horse he seen, eh?
left. I was about to say just left hooked the fucking horse in a paddock and just fucking hoed into it raw.
It's fucking...
How'd you go into it?
The fucking farmer comes up and he's like, "Man, you can't kill my horse." And like, "Get the fuck out of here, mate.
You're fighting nobody.
You're fighting with nobody, mate. Baby, you a baby."
Who is this Ryder guy? Can we have a background on him? What's he done? Where he's been?
I don't know. Like
Solid fighter.
he-
Solid fighter out of the UK. He's fought. And his most memorable fight would be against, I'd say, Callum Smith, where he
which everyone tried to
Tall.
argue that he won.
arguably
Tall. You getting there?
Yeah,
Good work, buddy.
the one who Canelo's fucking
Whatever.
bashed his arm up.
Okay.
He arguably beat him. It was a very tight fight. I mean, Smith probably got the nod because I'm more than sure it was like a hometown fight. But yeah, John Ryder is, I don't know, he's been up there without really, I suppose, challenging for too many world titles. I think
Waiting
he was
for
a
that mandatory slot, eh?
Yeah, I think it was a mandatory against Callum Smith, and then he's got his way back
It'd
to
be
that
interesting to see.
position now. Like,
Is he,
so
how big
everyone-
is he compared to what
Oh,
Smith was?
Probably maybe a little bit bigger than Canelo. Like not a
He's a tiny.
Not a-
He's about like the same body size, and he's like a tiny bit tall.
I was gonna say not a huge difference in size. I don't feel to Canelo. I feel that
No.
stacks the fight very much so in Canelo's favor.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I feel like Bivol kind of like showed the blueprint of what you have to do, but you also have to have like the attributes that Bivol had.
Yeah, like
I think at some point we really have to start asking: does Eddie Hearn just hate his fellow Englishmen? He just loves feeding them to this fucking
well,
orange Mexican punching machine, doesn't
it's
he?
not even that. They all get themselves into the positions to be able to fight, like to be able to fight him. It's crazy. There's so many good English boxers around at the moment
Yeah, there
Like
is
the-
actually.
that all managed to get their way up there, and like Canelo's just that top dog at 160 and 168.
He's that stallion.
Yeah.
Top of a bunch of other. What are the other ones called? Geldings. He's the stallion on top of a paddock of geldings. Look at that, people.
What? Why do you know that? Oh, no, that's right. I do know why you know that, actually.
Horse from the waist down, baby.
Nay, fucking nay.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, there's not much to fucking sit here and break down about the whole like, oh, what's gonna happen in this fight? Canelo's gonna fucking win. So let's just, what are you guys calling it?
Yeah, I probably reckon Canelo will get it done.
I feel like, yeah, Mexico.
Viva la
What are
Mexico,
we
as
actually
George would
calling
say.
What are we actually calling for our predictions?
Canelo stops him with it, like stops him in 6.
All right,
I don't see it going. Like I feel like it's a homecoming to
I'll give
Mexico.
Ryder 8.
To Mexico, he's going to put on a fucking show.
Oh, 100%. But I think he'll want to give them a little bit more time. So I think he'll do it in 8.
Okay, I'm going to be more specific than like within that. I'm going to say he starts slow. So like, that you'd probably 2 rounds in the bank already. By the time he applies his pressure, works the body, you got another couple of rounds. I'm going to go with the 7th again. I feel the 7th again. By a body shot, I reckon.
There we go. 6, 7, 8. You heard it
There's a
here
song
first.
about that, isn't there? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there is.
He walks out to that, but the Mexican version.
Where's the other
Alrighty.
guy from?
Where's the other guy from?
Yeah.
UK.
Viva la
Somewhere in the
UK.
UK.
Viva la UK as well.
Alrighty. Well, let's before we finish up here, let's move into That Sounds My Bernie for this week. And it, like I said earlier in the show, it kind of popped into my head, and it also applies to this event. There's another fucking belt from the WBC for the winner of this event.
Fuck you, Mauricio. Fuck you.
Legitimately, like, how many belts are on the line already in this fight that have sanctioning fees on top of them?
They're already
So
paying.
let's just make another
They're
one.
already paying the WBC a fucking sanctioning fee for the fight.
All I got to say to all the WBs, calm down a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to, like, every fight. It doesn't have to be for a belt. You can have a main event that's not for a belt.
It's just the WBC. Like, they always do this, Griff. Like, every time there's... Well, I can think of probably the last 5 Canelo fights where we've had, like, they're always on, like, a Cinco De Mayo weekend or whatever the fuck, however you say it.
But it's like every
And-
fucking... It's not even just these events. It's every fucking main event that you see. It's for a fucking belt. Even, like... I don't like to shit on her. But, like, Scarlett Nicholson, every time she fights, because she's, like, the main event of that before the belt, she fights for some type of belt. Like, they just fucking... Oh, this one's a fucking... silver belt and this one's a fucking bronze. Fuck off.
But they actually exist
Yeah, why though?
already.
Why do they
So,
do-
like, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Like, none of these fucking belts should exist for these people to win.
No.
But they're already established. But the fucking WBC will literally just make a fucking... Like, they made one for the Tyson Fury versus Dillian White fight. They made Canelo that black belt when he won Undisputed.
Didn't they make Jake a
They've
belt?
now made...
They
They
That's
did.
just enough said right there.
But they made a belt for the fucking McGregor and Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fucking money belt or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, like every time there's like a fight with Canelo or something in it though, like lately it's always been like, you know, when he versus Triple G, they had that one that was like one half of the strap was like the Mexican flag and that other half of the strap was like the colors of Kazakhstan. Like he's done it for so many. Yeah, as Ned said, I think Fury and Dillian White had one, did they?
Yeah, it was like the Commonwealth belt or some shit like
yeah,
that.
like that's all
there's
just
just...
too much.
There's literally no end to these cunts being like, oh, we're just going to chuck a couple of fucking jewels on a fucking piece of leather. Here, give us another 50 grand.
Just money.
Why?
Just money hungry cunts. It's fucked.
There's no need, like, Canelo's not an octopus, man. He doesn't have enough arms.
Fuck,
We've
there's
got
already-
Eddie in there just holding belts and fucking the grandpa who's like doesn't go to many fights anymore, which is sad.
I think
He's not there to hold him.
when Canelo
Oh,
leaves,
Papa Reno, so.
when Canelo leaves the ring, he leaves with like 6 fucking belts.
Oh yeah, he can barely fucking walk. He's just fought 12 rounds. He's like struggling already, and then he's got to
Like-
carry fucking half a ton out.
Well, he'll have to carry out 7 with this one because he's got what, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, the WBC. Then he'd have the IBO title, the Ring Magazine title as well, plus this fucking novelty piece of shit they're giving him.
Canelo's going to have to start making his entrances like Eddie Guerrero purely for the fact that he's just going to have all the fucking belts in the trunk of a car.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He'll save a lot of money. He won't even have to add the suspension or the hydraulics to it because it'll just be like that.
Eddie's
fuck
sitting in the back.
being outweighed from all the
Oh.
gold in the back.
But yeah, that shit's fucked. I'm sick of seeing it too, Neto. I'm with you on that shit. I'm with you on that.
Don't look around.
Said that, what the fuck?
Oh, fuck it all. It literally never fucking ends, man. Like, Mauricio Suleiman, like, you know, you're probably not going to hear this at any point in time, but once we make it big enough, I'll find this clip and fucking show it to you. Like, stop doing your bullshit.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
I take what I said.
And the belt looks terrible too.
Everyone else can continue on with what they're doing. WBC, just calm down a little bit.
Well, everyone needs to calm down, but the WBC needs to calm down especially.
Yeah, like the most.
Yeah, them
Yeah,
cunts.
100%.
I just get
They're fucked.
confused. You're like, oh, yeah, this person's got a belt. And then, like, anytime you're like, oh, yeah, these guys are fighting for a title. You're like, what fucking title? Like, I get that there's the 4 organizations. I'm all for it. Have one belt per organization, per division. Not like, oh, yeah, but
That
we've
should-
got the fucking silver belt where this person can just fucking fight 4 rounds for it.
There's a couple of people, like, apparently the WBA are trying to close their ranks and, like, get rid of a bunch of their lower belts and stuff like that. So good on them, but
Yeah.
all of these other organizations need to follow suit as well.
I feel like it just make things run smoother. Like you'd actually have a bit of an understanding. Because I try to get like behind like, oh, this person's got this belt, but then I just get fucking overwhelmed. There's like 50 different belts. I'm like, oh, fucking.
Well, because the term world champion then becomes so fucking ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because that's how they'll just be referred to in an announcement. And it's like, no, because there's actually like, there's a belt in between them and the actual fucking champion. It's like, they're not a world champion.
Yeah, no, it's like the regular titles are, it's like pretty much just the title they give to the fucking number one contender so they can get fucking sanction and fees out of it.
Yeah, it's just fucking,
pretty
when will that end?
That's pretty much all I see it as. Because like,
Huh.
you look at, who is it, Dubois holds the regular title in the WBO or WBA and he's getting the shot at
Adam?
At Usyk.
Adam?
Yeah.
And now like Zhang holds.
Yeah, fuck, he's big,
No.
man. I didn't expect him to grow that big. Yeah, what did Zhang fight for? Interim.
Yeah, that was
even
like
know.
Joyce had the WBA or whatever it was. Fucking regular.
What is a
fucking
WBA? Because I hear that's what Tank had. WBA
Yes.
title.
World Boxing Association.
So why did Tank
Mm.
have one of them belts?
He has like the regular title at 140.
See, that's what I mean. Like, how the fuck are you meant to keep up with who's fucking got what, who's doing what, who's the champions in what divisions when like, yeah, like some people are like, oh, Tank's never fought real division. He's never fought real championship, like, you know, contenders and shit like this. But then he just has a belt at a different weight.
But it's not even a real
Yeah,
belt.
but it's some other
It's
belt.
like a
that,
number one.
you're
It's like a
"What?"
number one contender spot. You get a belt for that.
Yeah, we'll go
Pretty
fucking
much.
fight the fucking champion. Stop fucking around fighting fucking Ryan.
I know what's going on in this conversation is confusing me.
I fucking. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just get over like trying to think about who's got what belt. You're like, fuck.
That's fucking pointless.
Unless
how
they
you meant to do
unless
it.
they hold like the actual world title, I just don't keep track of who holds a belt.
Yeah, unless it's like, yeah, oh, this person's undisputed. And you're like, ah, yeah, that motherfucker's got all the belts.
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
like I don't know how you got like, you know, Usyk and Fury. Like, yeah, they're both champions at that weight class. Whoever has the WBC silver fucking title doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
It's like, it's pointless. Like, what? Yeah. Oh, here's a medal for participating. Good job.
Yeah, like at 140, what Tank has the WBA or whatever it is, fucking regular title. But like, I'd just look at it like, who is it? Like Josh Taylor and whoever. I think Regis Prograis might hold one of the other belts at that weight class too.
Yeah, who both just kill Tank.
Yeah, so like I just look at them as like the world champions, but when they start having all these other belts, it's like fuck off.
Yeah.
You're the number one contender. You don't need a belt for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets a bit much. Like, at least with the UFC, if they get like an interim champion, it's like, you know, the next guaranteed thing they're going to do is fight for the belt.
Yeah, and like that's because the champion's like injured or something. Like
Yeah.
the number one spot doesn't just get a belt.
Yeah, no.
Like Rob Whittaker isn't just walking around with a belt at fucking middleweight.
No, and I mean, if UFC was to ever do it, he should be the person that gets to trial it out. The Reaper.
Oh, for sure, Bobby Knox. But yeah, I agree, Ned. That sounds my Bernie this week. The belts are an issue.
Massive
many.
issue.
It needs to fucking. It needs to go away.
Yeah, they
Mainly
need
just
to
these
settle up.
novelty ones too.
Just need to settle up a bit, yeah. Yeah, and stop doing weird belts for like giving them to weird people as well. Like, oh, Jake, here's a belt. Like, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
I'm on Team Jake for the most part at the moment. Other than he's fighting Nate. Once that fight's over, I'll be back on Jake's side. But like, don't give him a fucking belt. This is silly.
Well, I'll be there supporting Jake as long as he starts taking on fucking boxers again. Like
I'll be there to
That's-
support him, just not against my
that-
boy.
that's all I want to see. If he keeps fighting MMA fighters, I'm just going to keep fucking hating on him.
You know what I mean? He's got to get through Nate, which I don't like his chances.
Interesting fight.
It is interesting.
But yeah, we'll speak about that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you guys are looking for us, find
us
us
for the
at
auction.
Eggplant Tornado Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also at the Veggie Bake on YouTube for any of our other content. Hopefully, get another episode up towards the end of the week. But yeah, fucking very exciting weekend next weekend. We'll be back then. We'll see you guys then.
Giddy up.
What do we always like to say here, Griff?
See you later.
All right, see you later.
Catch you, cunt.